Hey everybody, this is Dominic, and I'm doing kind of a special video. This is a device that we have here on our campus. This is called the Learning Glass, and it is basically a transparent whiteboard that we're encouraging our faculty to use for alternative delivery so that, if you're taking an online class, you can see your instructor and maybe have some of the instruction resonate more. So I just wanted to kind of demonstrate this technology so you guys can be aware of it, but also talk about our discussion question this week, referring back to the principles of teaching writing for adult learners. And two of the principles that are brought up that I kind of lash onto. The first one that was brought up is teaching skills explicitly. That was one that kind of resonated with me. I think the reason that this resonated with me is if I go back to my own teaching experience, a lot of it was spent preparing students for the IELTS examination. For those of you who are not familiar, IELTS is an English proficiency examination used across the world, similar to the TOEFL. And many of the students that would come into my class were preparing for this examination. And this exam has clear guidelines that have to be followed. And because of that, a lot of strategy needed to be put into place. So guidelines must be followed in order to get the score that you're hoping to get. And the result of that is strategic writing. So when I say strategic writing, I'm talking about things like making an outline, brainstorming, making an outline, body paragraph structure, a mix of simple, compound, complex sentences, all these different variables that are going to play into their overall performance in that test. That was very important for that context that I was teaching in. Now, the other principle that I think is more applicable to all contexts of adult language instruction would be writing with a purpose. This was something that I really was happy to see was in our article for this week. And it's just something I think is really important because when we're talking about writing with a purpose, the number one thing that this means to me is motivation. Okay. Motivation for the learners to improve upon their skills and have it be something meaningful, that the context in which they're writing is relevant to their lives and it's relevant to the goals that they have in mind. Throughout this course, I've talked about how I think motivation is just the number one factor in determining success of a language student. And so writing with a purpose is directly tied to that. So those are just a couple of the principles that kind of resonated with me this week. So hope you enjoyed my presentation here with the Learning Glass. Thanks for watching, guys.